How we doing?
How we doing?
How are you doing? Doing well, thank you.
Obviously, when a team loses two at home, you knew they were going to get their best shot, and it didn't look like there was much of a shot from them. How rewarding is it, and are you guys in any way surprised that this one played out the way it did?
I don't know if surprise is the word. I mean, we played well tonight. We defended, we made shots, we forced them into turnovers, and it was just great to be home. I think we rode the momentum of our crowd as well.
Gabe, when it comes to just the dialogue that you and Spo have as a coach and player off the court and just obviously during the game, can you, in a short time, describe some of that a bit?
I mean, well, in shorthand, a lot of it is basketball related, whether it's where we're trying to get the ball, what set we're going to run. If he sees something he wants me to do, or even just share with somebody else. If Bam can't hear him down the court, he needs me to tell Bam something. So I just try to be a voice for him on the court. If there's something that he needs me to relay, and we just go from there.
Gabe, you had a lot of success with your pull-up shooting tonight. When you're coming off the pick and roll and the big is in the drop, Spo mentioned how he kind of needs you to be assertive looking at the rim. What is your decision-making process in that situation in terms of, I'm going to go for the shot or I'm going to get my teammates involved? How does that work for you typically?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, a lot of it's just the flow of the game. If there's another guy that has a hot hand, maybe we'll try to manipulate the pick and roll some way to find him. But my teammates tell me time and time again to come off the pick and roll and be aggressive and then make reads from there. So when they're giving me that confidence and I see a couple go in, I'll definitely continue to be aggressive.
Gabe, Spo's been consistent throughout the regular season, even when shots weren't falling team-wide, that you guys were building something on offense. What was the process like of building even through the failures of the regular season, and how has the offense kind of set you up for success in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the process was painful at times and rewarding at others. But definitely right now it's rewarding. It's paid off. We've put in a lot of work. It's been a long season, and we're just playing good basketball at the best time.
Spo mentioned you having Jimmy Butler and Bam as kind of role models when you entered the league. Is there anything specific that you've been able to take away from them and maybe even involve in your game on the court, maybe more of off the court kind of thing? Is there anything specific that you could speak to about what you've taken away from those guys?
I wouldn't say anything too specific, but their approach. I think their approach to the game, the way they compete. We've seen them both when they get in their mode, and how they find ways to continue to stay in it or to get back into it night in and night out. Watching them up close in my first year in the bubble, seeing the way they competed during that run was huge for me. It was motivation for me. It's just inspiring to see them go out there and go that hard every night. And now playing, I know how exhausted they were, and doing it time and time again is, it's inspiring, and they'll continue to lead us, and we'll continue to follow.
You got to the Heat as more of a two guard, and they kind of developed your point guard skills. How much of the circumstances, injuries, kind of brought out more of that scoring ability and kind of asked, for you to score more and play that role?
Yeah. I mean, you never know when or where opportunity will come. All you could do is try to be ready for it. And, whether it was work in the dark or film, just trying to stay prepared, knowing that there was other facets of my game that I may not have been able to show at this level based on the opportunity provided. And when it was, I just tried to take advantage and most importantly, help my team win.
Gabe, you've gone through a lot of tough matchups throughout this playoffs, having to guard certain guards on each of these teams. I guess just how much easier is it to make it for you when Jimmy and Bam always seem to be like helpers for you? One of them is always to be fully helping over. I guess what's the trust level to make that easy for you defensively?
Yeah, I mean, well, Jimmy and Bam are when they're off the ball, they're great defensively, especially the way they can lurk and get in passing lanes or meet a guy when he gets to the rim. And but the way we defend is all five. It's not just those two guys helping me. It's Max as a shrink out the corner, or Duncan rotating, or Kyle tell me there's a screen off the ball, and or Caleb coming and doubling. We got a number of guys that are just competing at a high level. Talking, running around, scrambling. So, we're playing great, but definitely Bam and Jimmy lead the way with that. No question about it.
Hey, Gabe, I remember speaking with you during Media Day, and the first thing you talked about was the disappointing way last season ended. Mm-hmm. And you talked about that being a driving force for you. Is that something we could use to explain this incredible playoff run?
You could. I'm sure you guys will at some point, but we want to win. Our goal has never changed. Ups and downs, year in, year out. The Miami Heat are trying to compete for a title, and this year is no different.
Yeah, Gabe. Spo mentioned that, hey, Gabe had a big game tonight, but we felt like he was just as impactful in game 2 with only 4 points. And he kind of phrased it as emotional stability, being able to stay committed, regardless of what your stat line or your shots look like. What's key for you to maintain that emotional stability, regardless if you're making shots, whatever, finding a way to still be impactful?
Yeah, I think it's just important for me to just be where my feet are and just be as present as possible. Whether it's a bad first half or a turnover, just having the next play mentality and just focus on how can I win the next possession? How can I help my team win this next possession or this next play? And just continue to find ways to just help my team.
To win the favorites to win the series, and now one step to make the finals. What is the mentality for the next game, the next game?
The next game, the mentality is to come out, compete at a high level, defend, try to make the right read every time offensively and just play good basketball. It's the first of 4 games. We're not satisfied with 3. It's great to be at home, and we're looking forward to playing in front of our fans again. Appreciate you guys.